you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open book beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, they'll try to run it. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it was almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Broncos take over. First down and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 22. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And a short pickup to about the 25. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's taken in by Dulcich. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Judy. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards. That's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to their defense and say, you see him? Cover it.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Williams again, and this time he'll run into a wall right at the 4-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From the 4 now, 3rd and goal. Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Mahomes going to throw. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 23-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Touchdown! Travis Kelce with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Wilson.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score.
Third down, as a defender, all you're thinking about is getting off the field. How do you stop this last play? But if you don't wrap up when you tackle and you play it back like this, all of a sudden he's taking it to the house. And now you're looking at each other wondering, what did we do wrong on that play?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. So this defense, maybe a frustration penalty there with the success that he's had running the football in this first half.
Not an excuse to do that, but yes, they're looking to slow him down any way possible. That one's just not legal.
Hands it off out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He was trying to dance in around the sideline, but fell just a couple of yards short. Still, he's got him in great position.
He certainly does. They did a nice job keeping him from getting into the end zone, but they are definitely back on their heels after that run.
And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Kadarius Toney
with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Butker is on target,
and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Bulldozes past him. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here's Wilson.
This is Hamler on the receiving end.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Broncos send Corliss Waitman out to punt.
He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Fielded at about the 28. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
107 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 51 yards. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but there's... That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
That'll be caught. It's Tony. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Right back to Tony. He's got another one. Touchdown! Kadarius Toney with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the route is on here in this first half. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go play action with Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 122 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. The busy night continues for Williams. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and they will remain well behind.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Here's Tony on the quick slant. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers at that situation, they really become magnified.
From the 29, Wilson. He's got it to Williams. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Well, the Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through the second half as we are back underway in Denver. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Buying time to his left. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
36 power.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs will take over possession here up at the 44.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They go play fake. Mahomes. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 33 yards that time.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 35. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
In order to play a really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Let's go double down right here, double down.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Steps away to his left. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 30. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Kadarius Toney,
42 yards.
And the Chiefs add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
Now they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion. That last pass might be one he remembers, Charles. He's now over 40,000 career passing yards.
And just think of the evolution of the passing game in the NFL. 40,000 at one time was unthinkable. No one thought anyone would ever get there. Now, how many guys have done it in the NFL?
Yeah, right around 20.
So we're talking a good number that have gotten that done, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a lot to be proud of and a lot more left to accomplish.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball. Yet they
and now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
That one's on the former Patriot, Joe Thuney.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1.
Open man right side is Toney.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that, plus 3.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
Yellow.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they take a knee.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chiefs, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.